The prices for these old Land Rovers, especially the Series and Defender variants, have been skyrocketing over the past couple of years. I want to find out exactly why. From the first Series 1 Land Rover in 1948 up until the last Defender rolled off the production line, Land Rover has been serenading us with romanticized views of these, either covered in dust against an African landscape or covered in mud in the depths of a Bornean jungle. The word Land Rover has always been synonymous with adventure. But the question is a Land Rover really for the adventurer? Out here in the real world, away from the soft green pastures of farmland England and village grocery runs in northern Italy, where breakdown is only a minor inconvenience and probably just means you have to reschedule your pastry pickup with Fabio. Stories of their horrible reliability, design flaws, and terrible build quality have been easy to sweep but difficult to keep under the rug. And yet, Land Rover sold over 2 million Series and Defenders over their 68-year production run, with an almost cult-like following from owners who will probably skin me alive for saying the things I've said. So the question we must ask ourselves is, has Land Rover managed to pull off one of the biggest and best marketing stunts the world has ever seen? After Serial, of course. And David Beckham. Right off the bat, there's no denying that if Land Rover was doing anything right, it was in the styling department. I mean, this car is so striking to look at, and its presence can be felt wherever you go. And wherever I do go, I'm always stopped by people who want to tell me about the experience that they had owning a Land Rover growing up, or people that they knew who had one. It seems like it's something which transcends just the simplicity of being a mode of transport. This is not a standard Series Land Rover, nor is it a Defender. This is basically a full Defender 109, except for the body and the gearbox. So that either gives me no authority to speak about either of the two, or it gives me authority to speak about both of them. It's got the Defender suspension, fully galvanized chassis. And there we go as well, you can see the coils. And a nice thing I want to show you, well, not a nice thing, but obviously this is a 4x4, and it's got big meaty axles or diffs. So this is your solid front axle, and it's got these ball joints in the wheels, so super solid, super strong. There's the rear diff, also a bit leaky, and here is the big leaky fuel tank. It's noisy, it's loud, it's really hot. The only thing I have for air conditioning are these two vents on the front, underneath the front window. It's called the Kalahari aircon. They just open up like that. It's really slow as well. The steering is vague, it floats around on the road, and it has a ton of play in the steering as well. The gear change is very tricky. You have to know exactly what gear you want to be in. Like for example, over here I'm coming off the highway, I'm turning onto a side road, so I need to select second. So I need to slow down until I'm okay to go in second. There we go. Let's have a look inside the engine. Let's have a look, shall we? So we have a 2.5 liter non-turbo diesel. It came from the factory as a turbo diesel, but the previous owner deturboed the engine. So it's extremely underpowered but super reliable. Apparently that was the logic behind doing it. These old series trucks also have a couple of cool features that you don't find amongst their competitors. A spade. I don't think this came factory, but we'll go with it. Nothing screams adventure like having a big tire on your bonnet while you're at your steering wheel and driving off to wherever. So this is really cool as well. But my favorite thing is over here. Let me show you. Just make sure you're not doing this with somebody in the car, because they will probably lose respect for you. Oh, the whole window. And there you have it. For just an hour of your time and R1,000,000 in repair bills, you now have a convertible. I know I'm trying to be cynical, but this is actually super fun. I feel like I'm in a giant moving house and the wind is in my hair. It feels lighter, to be honest. I want to hate this car so badly, but I can't. I love it. Here's a Land Cruiser over here, which is cool, but it's not as cool. You can never be as cool as somebody in a flipping top-down Land Rover. Come on, come on. Look at this guy driving past. What a nerd. Driving a Toyota Etios could never be me. I'm sure his bank balance is very healthy, unlike mine. Life has never been better. Something fell. Whoa. See those reflexes. Oh my gosh. Oh my petrol fell. My diesel. Things are happening. But things are happening in all the right ways. I love underdogs, okay? I love a good underdog story, and I don't believe in all of this nonsense that, oh, you know, things are the way they are because everybody says that's the way they are. So, in December of 2023, I took my savings and I bought a Land Rover, this specific Land Rover actually. And the plan was, against all the odds and against all the advice that everybody gave me, was to take this Land Rover from Port Elizabeth all the way up through Botswana, through Zimbabwe, to Victoria Falls, and all the way back. All right, that means going through the Okavango, the Moremi, Chobe, everything. I was gonna give Land Rover a fair chance. So I went and I bought the car, and on the way home, I was driving it and it developed one or two issues. Well, not one or two, it developed one issue. And it was quite a big issue. What ended up happening was, it ate up its entire gearbox. That's what happened. So, I couldn't take it anywhere. I had to leave it at home. Unfortunately, the stereotype is true. As much as I hate to say it, they are not reliable cars, and if you need them, they will let you down. It's like people in some sense, you know? The fun ones are gonna hurt you, and the boring ones are not, I guess. I've driven this road for like my entire life, going to school, whatever, and never has it been this fun. Never has it been this fun on a summer's afternoon in the Land Rover. The top is down, my hair is hitting into my eyes like a whoop, like a whoop. But it's vibes. Ooh, hello. So I've spent many long and hard minutes thinking about this theory, and I've come up with the following. There are only three types of people who buy Land Rovers. The first one, somebody who is rich enough to be able to own one of these and just throw money at it as like a form of amusement and fun. And then on the weekends you get to drive it. The second kind is a masochist, somebody who enjoys pain. You know, that kind of person whose entire personality is just centered around working on their Land Rover on the weekend. Wow! Second gear, thank you. And the last person who would own a Land Rover are like internet personalities and YouTubers, because it's the perfect car. It looks good, people are interested in it, it's controversial, and lastly, there is endless content because it is always going to break down. The rhetoric that we fed with these old Land Rovers is that they're just unreliable sometimes and we must accept it. Actually, no, we must love it. It's part of their character, and that somehow, without their unreliability, the experience is somewhat diminished, to the point where changing a transfer case is just as common as an oil change. And you know what? As weird as it is to say it, that argument does actually have a place. An old Land Rover is so cool, so quirky, and makes you feel so special that it transcends just utility and mobility. I mean, look at it. An old Land Rover is a celebrity. It's an icon. It's a superstar. It's a trophy for the weekend warrior, and might even be a daily commuter, as long as you live in the first world. Apparently, people can afford many things in the first world, including putting character before function. But in countries like South Africa, where breaking down in the wrong place could cost you your life, it loses its charm pretty fast. And sure, on the perfect day, when the wind speed is just right and the water temperature is perfect, and your door closes properly, your old Land Rover is just as capable as anything else in its class, and it looks a lot cooler than anything else while doing it. But let's not get it twisted. An old Land Rover is not for the adventurer. Especially here in the south, these old Land Rovers are just not built to compete. But when it's on song, the Land Rover really is the experience that can't be beat. There's something about it. It all starts to begin to make sense. The world feels like it's beneath you. The spare wheel on the bonnet is calling me to take it to a place where it can be used. And for half a moment, I can unclench my bum cheeks and not worry about where all the money is going to need to come from for my next gearbox replacement. I can just relax and enjoy it for what it's meant to be, an event.